It was supposed to be a simple road trip. Jake Miller, a 27-year-old photographer from Oregon, was driving through a lonely forest highway in northern Montana late at night, hoping to reach a small town called Blackridge before sunrise. The GPS signal kept cutting out. The road was empty for miles, and the only sound was the humming engine and the wind brushing against the car windows. Around 2:17 a.m., Jake noticed something strange. Every mile marker on the road suddenly showed the same number, mile 66. At first he thought he was just tired from hours of driving, but then his headlights passed over an old wooden sign on the side of the road that read, "Welcome back to Blackridge." The strange thing was that he hadn't reached the town yet. Jake felt a cold chill crawl up his spine, but kept driving, convincing himself it was just a mistake. A few minutes later, the same sign appeared again. Same broken wood, same faded paint, same bullet holes. Jake's heart started beating faster. "That's impossible," he whispered to himself. The road curved deeper into the forest where tall black trees leaned toward the road like silent watchers. Suddenly, the radio turned on by itself, filling the car with loud static. Jake reached for the dial, but a faint whisper pushed through the noise. "You shouldn't have come back." Jake froze instantly. His hands slowly pulled away from the radio as the whisper repeated again, colder this time. A heavy silence filled the car. His hands began to shake as he slammed the radio off and pressed the gas pedal harder, desperate to escape the forest road. But the highway refused to end. Another mile marker appeared in the headlights. Mile 66. Again, Jake's breathing became heavier as confusion slowly turned into fear. He looked ahead into the darkness, trying to focus on the road. Then suddenly his headlights revealed a figure standing perfectly still in the middle of the road. A woman. Long black hair covered most of her face, and a pale white dress moved gently in the cold wind. Jake's heart nearly stopped. His foot slammed the brake pedal, and the tires screamed against the asphalt as the car skidded to a stop just a few feet away from her. For several seconds, she didn't move at all. The forest was completely silent. Jake slowly rolled down the window and nervously called out, "Hey, are you okay?" The woman didn't respond. Then slowly, very slowly, she lifted her head. When the headlights illuminated her face, Jake felt his stomach twist with terror. Her eyes were completely black. No whites, no pupils, just endless darkness staring directly at him. Jake's heart began racing uncontrollably. Without thinking, he threw the car into reverse and slammed the gas pedal. The car jerked backward down the road as panic filled his chest. When he looked forward again, the road was empty. The woman had completely vanished. No, this isn't real," Jake whispered, breathing heavily. A few moments later, he spotted a narrow dirt road leading into the forest. Hoping it might lead somewhere else, he quickly turned the wheel and drove down it. The deeper he went, the darker everything became. Thick trees blocked the moonlight, and a strange fog slowly rolled across the road like ghostly smoke. Suddenly, his headlights illuminated something ahead, an old abandoned gas station standing alone among the trees. Rusted fuel pumps leaned sideways, broken glass covered the ground, and a flickering metal sign creaked softly in the wind. Jake parked the car and stepped out, hoping he might find a phone signal or someone inside. The cold night air felt heavy and strange. He pushed open the station door, which creaked loudly as if it hadn't been opened in years. Inside, dust covered every surface. Empty shelves lined the walls, and a faded calendar hung crooked near the counter. It was still showing October 1996. Jake slowly walked deeper into the station, his flashlight shaking slightly in his hand. The beam of light moved across dusty shelves and broken furniture. The place looked like it had been abandoned for decades. Suddenly, he heard something behind him, slow dragging footsteps echoing across the floor. Jake quickly spun around and shined the flashlight toward the entrance, but no one was there. The footsteps stopped. The silence became even more frightening. Jake turned the flashlight toward the wall behind the counter and froze. Written in dark red letters across the dusty wall were the words, "You came back." Jake felt his stomach drop instantly. "I've never been here before," he whispered nervously. Suddenly, the front door slammed shut with a loud bang. At the exact same moment, the lights flickered on for just a second. In that brief flash, Jake saw something horrifying. Dozens of handprints pressing against the dusty windows from the outside, like people were trying to get inside or desperately trying to escape. The dragging footsteps returned again, louder now, somewhere behind him in the darkness. Fear exploded through Jake's body, and he ran for the door, forcing it open before sprinting back to his car. Jake jumped into the driver's seat and sped down the dirt road as fast as he could. The fog had grown thicker, swallowing the headlights as the forest closed around him. A few minutes later, the dirt road suddenly opened back onto the same highway again. Jake's heart sank when he saw the same wooden sign standing ahead. "Welcome to Blackridge." Slowly, he turned his head toward the mile marker beside it. Mile 66. His chest tightened with fear. Just then his phone buzzed in the cup holder. There was still no signal, yet somehow a new voicemail appeared. With shaking hands, he pressed play. A terrified voice filled the car speakers. It was his own voice. "If you're hearing this, don't drive past mile 66. Whatever is in Blackridge, it doesn't let you leave." The message ended with a horrifying scream. Jake slowly looked up at the road ahead, and the woman was standing there again. But this time, she wasn't alone. Dozens of shadowy figures stood behind her between the trees, their shapes moving slowly through the fog. The woman slowly raised her arm and pointed directly at Jake's car as the shadows began walking forward. "So tell me, if you were Jake, would you stop the car or drive straight through the darkness? Like the video if this story gave you chills. Comment what you think happened to Jake. And don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying horror stories.